cosmic warning and opening transmission. Listen carefully. This is not background noise. This is not something to half hear while scrolling. What is approaching this Tuesday is not symbolic, not metaphorical, and not optional. January 6th, 2026 is a pressure point in time, a moment where invisible forces align so precisely that life itself responds. And if you are hearing this message right now, it is not an accident. Something is already moving toward you. This Tuesday is not just another date on the calendar. It is a convergence, a rare celestial ignition that only occurs once every 584 days. And this one is louder, sharper, and far more decisive than usual. Astrologers are calling it a love explosion, but that phrase barely scratches the surface. Because what's happening isn't just about romance. It's about value, identity, direction. It's about who you are becoming and what can no longer stay the same. The Sun and Venus are merging into exact alignment, forming what ancient astrologers called a superior conjunction, a moment when Venus is pulled into the heart of the Sun itself. This is not a gentle meeting. This is Venus being flooded with solar fire, stripped of hesitation, and crowned with visibility. Desire becomes undeniable. Attraction becomes conscious. What you want can no longer hide in the shadows. But here is where this Tuesday becomes different from every other Venus-Sun meeting. This time, Mars is present, watching, waiting, ready. Mars, the planet of action, courage, and irreversible decisions, is standing at full strength. And when love meets action under the glare of the sun, something snaps into place. Wanting is no longer enough. Feeling is no longer safe. Something must move. If you have been feeling unsettled lately, restless without reason, unable to fully relax, sensing that something is about to shift, but not knowing what, this is why. Your body recognized the signal before your mind could name it. Sleep patterns changing, dreams becoming louder, sudden urges to clean, organize, cut things off, or start over. You may have thought you were being impulsive. You're not. You are preparing. Some of you feel like you're standing at the edge of something massive, holding your breath. Others feel like they've already been dismantling their lives piece by piece, without fully understanding why. Relationships ending that once felt permanent, plans dissolving, certainty evaporating. This is not collapse, this is clearance. Space is being made, whether consciously or not, because what's approaching requires room. Tuesday is decisive because it does not negotiate. This alignment does not ask politely. It arrives with clarity, pressure, and consequence. What happens in the sky does not stay in the sky. It moves through the nervous system. It touches conversations. It activates choices that have been avoided for years. This is not influence. This is activation. As this moment approaches, the universe is not whispering anymore. It is tightening every thread. Venus accelerates toward the sun at her fastest possible speed, while Mars stands fully empowered, ready to act without apology. Everything converges in Capricorn, the sign of commitment, construction, and legacy, not fantasy, not illusion, reality. This means whatever is ignited now is meant to last, not fleeting attraction, not temporary emotion. This is energy that restructures lives, changing where you live, how you love, what you commit to, and who you recognize yourself as when you look in the mirror. And here is the most important part. The reason this message matters to you specifically. This alignment does not affect everyone equally. It never does. 3 zodiac signs are positioned directly in the line of impact. For them, this Tuesday marks a before and after moment, so sharp that they will one day point back to this week and say, "That's when everything changed." But before we reveal who they are, you need to understand this. The explosion doesn't begin outside of you. It begins within. The tension you've been feeling is not anxiety, it's anticipation. Your soul has been clearing debris, ending cycles, and loosening attachments so you can receive something bigger than what you've been settling for. Tuesday does not bring what you want. It brings what matches who you are becoming. And that is why it feels so intense. You cannot step into a new story while clinging to the old one. Something has to give. Stay with me. Because once you understand what is actually aligning and why Mars changes everything, you'll realize this moment didn't come to disrupt your life. It came to unlock it. When desire meets action, why this alignment cannot fail. Now we go deeper, because what you felt building inside you wasn't just emotion, it was pressure. And pressure only exists for one reason. Something is about to break through. The meeting of the Sun and Venus alone would already be powerful. It happens roughly every 584 days, a sacred reset of desire, worth, and attraction. It's the moment when what you value comes back into focus, when love, for yourself, for another, for life itself, steps into full awareness. But most of the time, these moments pass quietly. You feel inspired, hopeful, maybe romantic, and then life goes on. This time, life does not go on, because this time Mars is involved. Mars is not subtle. Mars does not dream. Mars acts. Mars decides. Mars cuts through hesitation and replaces it with movement. And right now, Mars is not weak, conflicted, or restrained. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, the most powerful position he can occupy in the entire zodiac. This is disciplined force, strategic courage, action that knows exactly what it wants and how to get it. So imagine this. Venus awakens desire. The Sun exposes it, illuminating what you can no longer deny. And Mars steps in and says, "Enough waiting, enough wondering, do something." That is why this moment feels unavoidable. This is not the kind of energy that allows you to sit on the fence. Conversations you've postponed suddenly demand to happen. Decisions you've delayed begin knocking louder and louder. Feelings you tried to manage politely start pushing past your defenses. This is the moment where wanting transforms into choosing. And here's what makes it even more intense. The alignment is exact, not loose, not approximate, exact. Venus, the Sun, and Mars converge within the same tight degree, forming a triple ignition point. Three forces collapsing into a single beam of manifestation. Desire, awareness, action. When these three align, reality responds. Historically, configurations like this coincide with life-altering encounters. Sudden proposals, bold confessions, unplanned opportunities that arrive fully formed. People don't think about changing their lives under this energy. They do it. And afterward, they struggle to explain why it felt so inevitable. Because inevitability is the signature of Mars in Capricorn. This is not impulsive chaos. This is calculated destiny. It's the moment when everything you've been building internally finally demands an external form. Capricorn doesn't deal in fantasies. Capricorn deals in structures, commitments, contracts, foundations that endure. That's why this alignment isn't happening in a dreamy sign or an emotional one. It's happening in the place where futures are built, where promises become real, where effort turns into legacy. If you've noticed yourself becoming less tolerant of ambiguity lately, this is why. You don't want maybes anymore. You don't want situationships, half-efforts, or vague plans. Something inside you wants clarity, direction, and permanence. And it wants it now. This energy is also exposing where you've been underselling yourself, where you accepted less than you deserved, where you waited for validation instead of claiming your worth. Under a Venus-Mars-Sun convergence like this, those compromises become unbearable. You may feel compelled to speak truths you've swallowed for years, to walk away from dynamics that drain you, to finally move toward what feels aligned, even if it scares you. That fear, it's not a warning, it's a threshold. Mars doesn't destroy what's aligned, he destroys stagnation, and whatever falls away now was never meant to survive the next version of you. This is why Tuesday doesn't feel gentle, it feels sharp, focused, final. But we're not done yet. Because as powerful as this triple conjunction is, it's only one part of a much larger design. Something else locks this energy into the physical world, ensuring that what begins now doesn't stay emotional or internal. In the next part, I'll show you the exact configuration that turns this from a powerful moment into a full-scale manifestation event. The reason dreams stop being ideas and start becoming reality. And once you understand that, you'll see why this week changes everything. When the universe makes it real, the manifestation. Lock up until now, everything we've discussed has been building pressure. Desire awakening, awareness sharpening, action preparing to strike. But here is where the energy crosses the line from internal experience into external reality. This is where the universe stops hinting and starts delivering. Because the Sun, Venus, and Mars do not stand alone. At the exact moment this triple conjunction reaches its peak, another force clicks into place with surgical precision. The moon shifts signs, and that single movement changes everything. As the moon enters Virgo, the sky completes a grand Earth trine, one of the rarest and most effective manifestation structures in astrology. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, 3 Earth signs, 3 stabilizing anchors, 3 points locking intention into form. This is not inspiration energy. This is outcome energy. A trine is flow, effortless, unobstructed movement. But an earth trine is different from every other element. Fire inspires, water feels, air imagines, earth delivers. Earth says, this becomes real. That is why this week feels heavier than usual. Not in a negative way, in a consequential way. You are not carrying emotions, you are carrying futures. The moon's role here is crucial. The moon governs daily life, habits, the nervous system, the way reality is experienced moment by moment. When she moves into Virgo, she takes something enormous and cosmic and breaks it down into steps. Logistics, details, actions you can take on a Tuesday morning that somehow alter the entire direction of your life. This is how miracles slip into ordinary moments. One message, one meeting, one decision that feels small in the moment. But later you realize it was the pivot. And then there is Uranus. Uranus in Taurus forms the final leg of this grand Earth trine. And Uranus never does gentle. Uranus is the shock, the breakthrough, the unexpected turn that bypasses logic and goes straight to liberation. Uranus does not ask permission. It interrupts patterns. It overrides routines. It breaks you out of timelines that were never meant to be permanent. That's why some of you will experience this as a sudden opportunity you did not see coming. A call, an offer, a reconnection, a door opening where there was nothing but wall before. And once it opens, it does not close quietly. This is not gradual change. This is instant recalibration. One moment you are in your old life. The next moment, you are not. That is the signature of a grand Earth trine with Uranus involved. It moves fast, but it sticks. What manifests now is not temporary. It anchors, it roots, it grows. And here is what most people misunderstand. Manifestation does not always feel good at first. It feels real. It feels serious. It carries weight, because reality has mass. You may notice responsibilities increasing alongside blessings, choices becoming clearer, but also more final. This energy does not support half commitments or emotional placeholders. This is why the universe has been clearing your life in advance. If relationships ended recently, it was to remove interference. If plans dissolved, it was to free capacity. If you felt bored, restless, dissatisfied, it was because your soul knew what was coming could not land in clutter. Earth trines require space, and you've been making it, even if you didn't realize it. This alignment turns wishes into structures, not someday dreams, but tangible outcomes. Keys in your hand, names on contracts, titles that stick, bonds that don't dissolve under pressure. And once this trine locks in, it does not ask if you're ready. It assumes you are. That's why this moment carries consequence. You don't drift through it. You choose, consciously or unconsciously, and the universe builds around that choice. Which brings us to the most personal part of this entire event. Because while everyone feels the ground shifting, not everyone is standing in the same place when it happens. 3 zodiac signs are positioned directly inside this configuration, not on the edges, not observing from a distance, but at the center of impact. For them, this is not just a manifestation window. It is a turning point. In the next part, I'll reveal exactly who these signs are, what role they play in this energy, and why their lives are about to move forward in ways that cannot be undone. And once you hear it, you'll understand why this was never random. It was timed, and it was meant for you. The 3 who stand at the center, crowning, commitment, and rebirth. Now we arrive at the point where this stops being theoretical. Because while everyone feels the pressure of this week, not everyone receives it the same way. Astrology is not democratic. Alignment matters, position matters, and 3 zodiac signs are standing directly in the line of fire, not on the sidelines, not observing, but inside the mechanism itself. For these 3, Tuesday is not just powerful, it is defining. They will remember this period as the moment life split into before and after. Capricorn, the coronation. Capricorn, this is happening in your territory. The Sun, Venus, and Mars converge in your sign, activating your first house. The house of identity, presence, and self-definition. This is not about external approval. This is about recognition, both from the world and from yourself. For years, you have been under pressure most people could not survive. Pluto has been stripping away versions of you that were built out of obligation, survival, and expectation. Roles you played because you had to. Masks you wore because responsibility demanded it. It was exhausting, and often invisible. But now, reconstruction begins. Venus, in the heart of the Sun, does something extraordinary for you. It illuminates your worth so clearly that denial becomes impossible. You are no longer overlooked. You are no longer underestimated. People feel you before you speak. Doors open because your presence demands it. And Mars, standing beside this conjunction, removes hesitation entirely. You are not waiting to be chosen anymore. You are choosing. This is sovereignty energy. Authority without apology. The kind of confidence that does not need to announce itself because it is obvious. What you claim now sticks. What you initiate now grows. You are not stepping into power. You are remembering that it was always yours. This is not a glow-up. This is a coronation. Cancer, the proposal. Cancer, your experience looks different. But it is no less powerful. While Capricorn is being crowned internally, you are receiving external proof. The entire Capricorn alignment activates your 7th house of partnerships, commitments, and binding agreements. And standing opposite it is Jupiter, exalted in your sign, amplifying everything you touch. This is serious commitment energy. Romantic, yes, but not only romantic. This is the moment where someone stops hesitating and steps forward, where intentions become offers, where conversations shift from maybe to when. You may be proposed to emotionally, professionally, or spiritually. A partnership solidifies. A collaboration locks in. A bond that has been circling finally lands. The opposition between Jupiter and the Capricorn stellium creates tension. But this is not conflict. It is decision pressure, the kind that forces truth to the surface. No more ambiguity, no more half-choosing. And here's the key. You are ready for it. Jupiter in your 1st house means you have the emotional capacity to receive without losing yourself. This is not neediness. This is maturity. This is being chosen because you are whole, not because you are waiting. What enters now is meant to last, and it meets you where you are, not where you used to be. Virgo, the Renaissance. Virgo, your gift is joy. And that may sound simple, until you realize how long it has been since joy felt uncomplicated. The Capricorn stellium forms a perfect trine to your sign, activating your 5th house. Romance, creativity, pleasure, and the part of life that exists purely to be enjoyed. Not optimized, not perfected, enjoyed. You have carried responsibility for a long time. You've fixed, improved, managed, and held things together while quietly postponing your own delight. This week changes that. The Grand Earth Trine opens a channel where effort is no longer required to receive. Love feels light again. Creativity flows without force. Life stops feeling like a task list and starts feeling like an experience. Someone may enter or re-enter your life with laughter instead of complications, ease instead of confusion, presence instead of pressure. And if you've been trying to conceive an idea, a project, a relationship, or a child, this is fertile ground. What you plant now grows. What you begin now succeeds. This is not escapism. This is a rebirth of pleasure. The hidden symbol. Why vulnerability is the key. There is one more layer to this alignment that most people miss, and it explains why this moment feels so exposing. The exact degree of the Sun-Venus conjunction carries a symbolic message, the release that comes from shedding armor. This is not about appearances. It is about authenticity. Capricorn energy teaches control, composure, and professionalism. But this alignment demands something different. It asks you to stop performing stability and start living truth. The love explosion does not reward perfection. It rewards honesty. You cannot receive what you are pretending not to want. You cannot be met fully if you are hiding pieces of yourself to remain acceptable. This is why vulnerability becomes magnetic now. Not a weakness, truth. And when you stand in that truth, unguarded, unarmored, real, life responds immediately. Because the universe does not meet masks, it meets essence. In the final part, I'll explain how this energy stretches beyond Tuesday, why it creates a timeline split, and what you must do to step into the version of your life that this alignment is offering. Because after this week, there is no going back. The timeline split. What you do next determines everything. What happens this Tuesday does not end on Tuesday. That is the final truth you need to understand. This alignment is not a moment. It is a gateway, a dividing line in time where two futures separate and begin moving in completely different directions. One continues familiar patterns, familiar delays, familiar almosts. The other accelerates into a version of life that no longer requires waiting, proving, or shrinking. And the difference between those two timelines is not luck. It is response. The energy building now has been rising for days, quietly arranging circumstances, clearing obstacles, loosening attachments. From January 2nd onward, the universe has been preparing the stage. Emotional purging, endings that felt sudden, fatigue mixed with anticipation. You were not unraveling, you were making space. January 6th is the ignition point. That is when the Sun, Venus, and Mars align with surgical precision. That is when the Moon locks the energy into Earth. That is when movement becomes unavoidable. But what many people miss is this. The impact continues to unfold through the days that follow. January 7th carries the aftershock. Venus and Mars exact, desire demanding expression. January 9th and 10th stretch everything further, as Jupiter amplifies what has begun. This is rolling thunder. Tuesday is the lightning strike, but the storm reshapes the landscape long after the flash. That means what enters your life now may not reveal its full importance immediately. The conversation you have on Tuesday may echo weeks later. The person you meet may only show their true role by Valentine's Day. The decision you make may not show its full brilliance until summer. But make no mistake, the seed is planted now. This is why preparation matters. If possible, create space on Tuesday, not just in your schedule, but in your attention. This is not a day to rush through on autopilot. Presence is required. Notice who reaches out. Notice who appears unexpectedly. Notice what opportunity makes your heart race instead of calm down. These are not interruptions. They are invitations. Say yes to what stretches you slightly beyond comfort. The Venus Cazimi does not offer mediocre doors. It offers doors that look intimidating because they lead to expansion. If something feels too aligned to ignore, trust that instinct. Write things down. Thoughts, feelings, synchronicities. This energy moves quickly, and clarity can come in flashes. Capturing it anchors it. And most importantly, remove the armor. Whatever persona you have been maintaining to stay safe, respectable, or unchallenged, let it go. This alignment does not reward performance. It responds to authenticity. You cannot receive fully while hiding. When Tuesday passes, you will feel it. Wednesday morning arrives differently. The air feels clearer. Fear loses its grip. Something that once felt impossible now feels oddly practical. You may wake up lighter, or decisive, or already mid-action. The old version of you does not survive this crossing. Not because it was wrong, but because it is complete. And there is one more reason this moment matters so much. This alignment occurs just weeks before Neptune leaves Pisces after 14 years and enters Aries, ending an era of dreamy, undefined longing and beginning a cycle of directness, courage, and self-authorship. This Tuesday is the final major love and value activation under the old paradigm. It is a closing chapter. What you choose now becomes the foundation you carry into an entirely new astrological era. You are not just manifesting an experience. You are setting a trajectory. Understand this. This love explosion is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you. It is not bringing you what you lack. It is revealing what you already are. When you stop hiding from your own truth, life reorganizes around it. People respond differently. Opportunities appear differently. Love meets you differently. Because the universe does not chase you toward destiny. It waits for you to choose it. This week, the conditions could not be more precise. The support could not be stronger. The timing could not be clearer. The universe is voting for your biggest life. The only question left is whether you will meet it. If this message resonated, stay present with it. Reflect. Respond. And if you want to continue exploring moments like this, moments where timing, meaning, and choice converge, make sure you stay connected, because after this week, you are no longer the same person, and the life ahead of you will reflect that.